Grumpier Old Men was the sequel to Grumpy Old Men discussed in yesterday's Morning Minutes in the Bible. The second movie tried to soften up the old guys a bit, so it wasn't quite as bitter and defiant as the first movie. But it still didn't make it very funny. As for the original Grumpy Old Men, Korah, Dathan and Abiram, nothing in the world would lighten them up. Number 16 tells a bitter, sordid tale of defiant, rebellious men. Their hearts were hard and bitter toward God for giving special access and glory to Moses. Today, let's find out how their rebellion worked out. Something about this rebellion really frosted Moses. As the current saying goes, Moses went after Korah and got up in his grill. First, he invited them to come to the tabernacle and let God choose his leaders. That's in verses 4 through 7. But then he dressed Korah down. As a son of Levi, they were given special privilege in the tabernacle. Listen up, you sons of Levi. Is it not enough? He began, and ended with, do you want the priesthood too? That's number 16, verses 8 through 10. In verse 11, he asked why they were going after Aaron. As we noted yesterday, it was irrational. On top of that, when Moses called them up, Korah agreed to go, but Dathan and Abiram refused. They said, ain't gonna do it. Added some other complaints and repeated their refusal. That's in verses 12 through 14. Because of that additional defiance, all chance for reconciliation was extinguished. Moses asked God to refuse their sacrifice. That's in verse 15. Their defiant stand in front of their tent as God instructed everyone to move away leads me to see those two men in the movie, grumpy old men, proud and defiant in verse 27. But this wasn't a movie, so there wasn't a feel-good ending as God opened the earth to swallow them up for their rebellion. That's in verses 23 through 35. In a sense, you could say God crushed the rebellion. Of course, rebellion against God didn't end with that generation. It continues today when people say of God's commands, I will not. As we noted yesterday, Jesus made it very clear. If you love me, you will obey my commandments. Yet how many today claim to love Jesus? Oh, we just love Jesus. Praise Jesus. We just love him. But then openly reject his commandments, refusing to be baptized for the remission of sins. Irrational behavior remains the norm even today. Well, don't you rebel like those defiant, grumpy old men. Be like Jesus, who said yes to the Father's will, who obeyed his Father. Well, tomorrow's Morning Minutes in the Bible will be a return to days of old with a new Throwback Thursday study. Until then, this is James McClenny hoping you have a great day.